My name is Tiffany, and my one word is unweakened. Monica called and she gave me that word, and at the time, I had no idea the path that lied ahead of me. But I did feel something when she gave me that word, and I knew that that one word fit me so much because I grew up somewhat sheltered, and my whole family knew that I was the soft one, the sensitive one. You can't say this to Tiffany to hurt her feelings, or you can't do this, you know. And I was going through, at the time I was going through my life's testimony. I was battling something that really had me bound. For 5 years, my husband and I had been trying to conceive, and it was a challenge that just really took me through. I mean, there were just so many times where I had friends that were getting pregnant, and I definitely wanted to be happy for them because I loved them dearly, but it was just so hard to watch everyone around you get something that you wanted so badly. There was times when I would go to showers and I would be happy, but it took everything that I had. So after the shower, no one knew but my husband that I would come home and I would just be so torn. I mean, it would just drain me. I could sit, I could watch TV and see a mother on TV that had hurt or maybe killed her child, and it would just take me through because I was wondering in my heart, how is she able to have this child when she doesn't want it and I'm craving it so much? So it was something that I really battled with, and I had to find peace within. So I drew near, I had to find my peace in the church, and I had friends that were very supportive. I have a church home that is very supportive, and that helped me. But I was still weak. I hadn't found the strength to get through this situation, to deal with this situation. And I prayed, and I got into my word, and it was a long path for my husband and I. And we did find out some things that God was really trying to show us in our life. So towards the end, I was getting stronger in this. I'm finding a way to deal with this situation. I'm finding a way to have peace with this situation, to know in my heart that my time is coming. So I was getting strong, but not yet strong as I needed to be. So the week before, well, actually, let me take it back. I found strength, and I prayed, and I feel like once my husband and I started living our life the way that God had intended to, God did bless us with a child. And so we conceived, I was pregnant, and the pregnancy was beautiful, and it was wonderful. And I was in my 37th week when Monica called and she gave me that word, unweakened. And like I said, I knew that fit me. I didn't know the road ahead, but a few days after I received my word and I started walking in my word, I developed kidney stones while I was 37 weeks. So I was in the hospital for about a week, bound to my right side, you know, couldn't move, and just, it was a very challenging experience. And I feel like the me 5 years ago would have wanted to give up, would have been like, this is too much. But honestly, I remembered that word. I remembered unweakened, and I had to fight my way through, because it was no longer just about me. I had a child that I had prayed for so long inside of me, and I had to be strong for this child. I had to move on, get past all the fears that I had, and I had to be strong for my child. And so we made it through. Me and my baby had to go under, and we had to have a procedure, which of course is, you know, kind of dangerous, but I prayed before I went in, and I told my son, which I had already named him, and I named him a name that I think at that moment I knew was befitting for him. His name is Kingston, and I knew that that was a strong name, and I told him he was going to be strong, and now his mommy's going to be strong, and we're going to get through this. And as soon as we came out of the procedure, and as soon as I came to, the first thing I felt, which they told me that I wouldn't, but the first thing I felt was my baby kick. And I knew that we were going to be all right. So that definitely strengthened me. But yet and still, God still had more. I still wasn't as strong as He needed me to be, or as I needed to be in this walk and in my life as a mother. After, I went into labor with my son and ended up having to have an emergency C-section because of some complications with his heart rate, which made me nervous, but once again, didn't tear me down like it possibly could have a few years ago, because I just felt, I knew God's hands was all over me and with my son, and I was comfortable with it. I was comfortable, and so we had the delivery, and everything went wonderful with the delivery. He was fine and he was healthy. Well, the day after he was born, he had some heavy breathing, and they wanted to take him for some observation. Well, he went into the NICU just for some observation, and he was on some medicine. Well, the next morning, the nurse and the doctor came to my room and told me that he had been given the wrong medication. And he had been given a medication that was a paralyzing agent, and it paralyzed all of his organs. And basically, we had lost him, and they had to resuscitate him and revive him. And I can tell you now that the old me wouldn't have been able to tell this story. I found it hard to deal with this story, to tell this story, but I know now without a doubt that my son was destined to be here with a purpose. And because I became unweakened, my son wasn't going to be weak. God brought him out of that situation. He is a beautiful, beautiful, healthy baby, and no complications or anything. And even after that situation, I kind of found myself in a slump sometimes, or just feeling like, why did this happen to him? Just still kind of nervous, and trying to go back into that old me, that familiar place, that weak place. And then it was my pastor that actually gave me some words that I carry with me, and he told me to trust in God even when I don't trust the situation. And that's what I do. And when I tell you that the path and the strength that God has all over me, He has over my baby too. He is such a beautiful spirit. He is, He gives me so much joy. He has a spirit that is infectious to everyone who meets him. Even just looking at a picture, you can tell that this little guy has so much joy, because he knows, even at 7 months, he knows that he was destined to be here, and he's destined for a purpose. So I feel like God gave him to me to remind me of my strength, that I am no longer weak, that I am a person that can do whatever I want to do or whatever I need to do. Whatever trials or obstacles come my way, I am no longer weak. I can face anything that I am going through. And I don't have to go back to that place where I am weak. I can be strong. So yes, that's my one word, unweakened.